So this morning I have read from the book of Epistle Romans chapter number 12 and 13. I would like to share with you today a few things that I have learned from these two chapters. Romans chapter 12 is talking about the living sacrifice. Living sacrifice. In this chapter, Paul was speaking to the people of Jewish Christian about God's mercy to offer their bodies as living sacrifice and pleasing to God, not to be conformed any longer to the burden of this world. He said that be transformed by renewing your mind. Therefore, Paul continued his message of salvation to the Jewish Christian followers of Christ in Rome, when he was in Rome. So, various gift for people. Paul also talking about the various gift for the people. In this chapter, Paul was talking about different types of gifts for the people, like some of them have the gift of prophecy, and some of them have the gift of teaching or ministering. Paul was encouraging to the followers of Christ not to be misuse the gift of God. It should be used only for God's kingdom, and we must love each other. So Paul was encouraging frequently to Jewish Christian people when he was in Rome. So Paul also talking about to live in peace. At the end of this chapter, Paul also reiterated the message to be treat each other with brotherly love, and also said to them not to be lazy in their worldly business, but we should serve the Lord with passion. He also encouraged to them to leave vengeance to the Lord and to live in peace. Okay, so Paul was talking about all these things from this chapter. So as I review, so now is chapter 13. So let's see from chapter 13. Chapter 13. In this chapter, many interpreters have claimed that Rome chapter 13 implies Christians are to be obeyed to all public officials under circumstances. So, but the one of American historian, his name is Howard Zinn, he said like this: historically, the most terrible things, war, genocide, and slavery, have resulted not from disobedience but from obedience. It is a little bit different. So it's Howard Zinn, one of the American historian, he said like this: historically the most terrible things, war, genocide, and slavery have resulted not from disobedience but from obedience. So he said like this. So that's why Romans chapter 13 is one of those classic clever passages used to make sure we are all being obedient citizens, which is historically has led Christians into all kinds of problems, like politicians and philosophers in support or against political issues. There are two conflict agreements mandate obedience to civil law. Okay, civil law, and these are limit authority beyond this obedience which is not record. So we must learn what kinds of authority we need. We have to we have to read the Bible. What types of authority we must follow, we have to follow. So this chapter is very hard for understand. Actually, don't read only one version. I recommend to every one of you to read any version, but mostly I recommend you to read King James Version. King James Version is very, very important. This is original language translation, so you can read King James Version and meditate it. See any commentary, dictionary, or all kinds of books, so that you can understand this Romans chapter 13. It is very hard to understand which type of authority we supposed to follow. So according to this American historian, so he is little bit different, his view. So I would like to request you to read King James Version and different kinds of Bible dictionary commentary for this matter.